Everything's fine.
Nobody cares but you and me.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fantastic.
Yeah, I was hello world of Warners and Facebook world.
Oh, are we live? Okay.
Yes, so don't swear. Actually, it doesn't matter if we swear.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hello, everybody watching. I was stuck in traffic, like Merle's Inlet, standstill traffic, going, what's going on? There must be the wreck of the century up ahead, but no, it was just like summer traffic.
Okay, this is going to make you laugh a little bit. So I drove back and forth between Lincoln and Omaha today, and it's about 47 miles. And it's all highway, and there's no cars on the road, and you're literally back and forth like in 30 minutes.
I love that.
Yeah. I drove 100 miles today in 2 hours. I mean, 1 hour, something like that. Anyway, no traffic here.
LIVIN, baby.
Yeah.
So where are you in? You're in Omaha? And what are you in Omaha for?
I'm actually right at this moment in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is 45, 46, 47 miles away from Omaha. So this week I am here speaking for the American Marketing Association of Lincoln. So the keynote speaker yesterday. And I like Lincoln. Yes, it's exciting for their sales summit. And I love everybody at AMA Lincoln. Love you guys. And I love Lincoln, and period. And I have a huge network in Lincoln. And I like it better than Omaha. And I love the hotel I'm staying at. So I drove back to Lincoln because I have other meetings in Lincoln.
The hotel that Gina is staying in is way rad. You guys should go and check her profile and check out this hotel. It's super cute. I love it.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
Totally cute. Well, so in your travels, do you have a quickie tip for us today?
I do have a quickie tip. And since I'm traveling, the theme is leverage. Leverage everything you do. So here's my leveraging. We have our podcast, Women Your Mother Warned You About, but we also have the Pivotal Leader podcast. Well, I mean, I do, not we, but you know what I'm saying.
I've been on it.
You have been on it. Yes, you have, as a special guest. And people keep asking me, why do you go to Omaha and Lincoln? Like, that seems so odd. First, because, we live in South Carolina. But a couple years ago when I started the Pivotal Leader, someone came on my podcast from Lincoln, and I had never heard of Lincoln. And then he introduced me to someone who introduced me to someone who introduced me to someone. And all those someones became guests on the podcast. And then they were all like, you should come to Lincoln. And then I started going to Lincoln. And then I started developing business. And I started getting clients. So when people say to us, why are you podcasting? How are you making money? It's a long game. But I'm making money in Omaha and Lincoln because of that first podcast, right?
Yep.
And an American Marketing Association became a client. And while I'm here, part 2 of leverage is when you travel, whether it's personal or professional, always build in extra time, whether it's a few hours or a day, to meet up with other people and to network. So I have this one day today where I'm not speaking or getting paid, but I am hustling and having coffee with people and having drinks with people. And yesterday I smoked cigars and at a cigar club with a bunch of men. And a really awesome woman, Allie Schwanke. Shout out to Allie. She owns a marketing agency in Lincoln. So leverage your time, personally and professionally. Whether you own a business or you work for someone, how can you expand your network on all of your travels and leverage that and leverage everything you're doing, which is what we're also doing with Women Your Mother Warned You About. Like, we know Casey Hasten because she became a big fan of the podcast. So the point, and that led to me doing some work with her company. So leverage. And in the world of improv, we call it a big yes and heighten something that you're doing, take it to the next level. That is my long-winded quickie tip for the week.
Very nice.
And you?
My quickie tip today is about gratitude. And the reason that I want to focus on this for people is I re-listen to, and I love listening to audiobooks. I spend a lot of time in the car. And there's a book called Game Changers by Dave Asprey, and I'll put a link to that book below this. It is basically a book. He's a biohacker, and there's about 101 different ways to become smarter, faster, and happier in this book, like every aspect of your life. But at the end of the book, the very last section, so you'll have to listen to or read the entire book to get to the end where he talks about gratitude. And he said, Dave, the author, says at the end, I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people, successful people over the last 10 years of researching that book. And he said it all boils down to a few key things, and the number one of which is gratitude. And it's really fascinating. I'm not going to try to go into the science bit because I'm not a sciencey kind of gal, but there's some fascinating stuff that he talks about in that book about your mitochondria and all the stuff that gets affected by expressing gratitude and how it actually changes your brain waves. So, there's 1,001 ways to do the gratitude thing. Suggestions are when you get up in the morning before anything else to write down 3 things that you're grateful about. And even at the end of the day to write down 3 things. Writing stuff down is a powerful thing that we sometimes tend to not do. So if you can't, like this morning I was laying in bed and before I even got up, I was like, I'm going to get 3 things and then I'm going to get up and write them down. And by the time you start thinking about 3 things, like I'm grateful that my child is here with me. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for, eyes to see and air to breathe, lungs to breathe the air. And I'm grateful that my phone wasn't working this weekend, so I couldn't call someone who I really wanted to bitch out.
It wasn't me, right?
No, okay.
Something
happened. And I was like, can't call this person. It's a good thing. I'm really grateful. But no matter what you're going through or how hard your life is right now, I have a very dear friend who is in the hospital right now, struggling with, like, you couldn't believe what this woman is going through. And she's the most grateful person I know right now. Because every time some kind of good news happens or not, she is just super grateful, and she's grateful for the loving people around her. So don't underestimate the fact that you can be super grateful for just about anything, and how powerful that will be to your success, the success of your relationships, the success of your business, and the successful of your just overall life. So
love that. And I do that every morning. I write down my 3 gratefuls, and there are mornings where I'm like, oh. And then you go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. I have a roof over my head.
Totally. If you're watching this right now, you got a reason to be grateful because you've got either a computer or a smartphone. I mean, as soon as you take away the ability to be able to walk around freely or use both hands, like I'm still limping around a bit on my ankle, and I'm super grateful that I'm not on crutches. But, so just remember that it can always be worse, but more so than that there's really a lot to be grateful for around you. And it really, go check out that book. There's like so many good things in there about like what you should eat, how you should sleep. There's a great section about sex in there you should check out. It's awesome. But the last section is really very strongly leaning towards gratitude, and it can be a game changer.
Awesome. And you're going to put the link to that book?
I will. I will put it right below this video.
Awesome. So today is hump day. And that would make tomorrow the day after hump day.
Thursday. And who's on the show in tomorrow's episode?
Oh my gosh. Trish Bertuzzi.
Yes.
Remember her? We didn't tell her this, but she kind of scared us.
I was terrified of her. Trish, love you. I was scared. I thought she was going to crush me with her the power of her womanhood. I was like, ah! But
she's amazing sales expert. So that was such a fun show to do. I mean, they're all fun in different ways, but that was one that, like, I think for me, because she reminds me of my sister, who is 25 years older than me, and she's got like the same fiery personality. So that was super fun. So that's what's coming up this week. And what else is there to know? Anything? I don't know.
We have upcoming traveling shenanigans together.
Yeah, you want to
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
that?
Remind me to tell you about the great shenanigan that Roxy and I came up with today. It's so good.
Okay. Okay. Don't let the cat out of the bag.
I won't, but it's hilarious. Warner World is still available for you guys at warner-world.com. Visit our website, womenyourmotherwarnsyouabout.com, for all kinds of fun free downloads and etc.
Etc.
Yep.
Do you want to tell everybody where we're going?
We're going to Fort Lauderdale, Miami area on the 14th. So anybody who's down that way, come on.
That would be June.
I don't even know what we're doing yet, but we're going to.
That'd be June 14th. I have scheduled some stuff for us. We're going to do some touristy things. Cool. And I did sweet talk some stuff that I told you I was going to try to sweet talk, and I sold them on moving things around for us on our activities. So cool. We're going to have a good time. So anybody wants to, connect with us in Florida, not this weekend, next weekend, this weekend, I am going to New York City.
New York City?
Yeehaw. Oh, anybody want to get together this weekend in New York City? Give me a shout out.
New York City.
The intention, by the way, because I'm going to put this on video to be held accountable. The intention of New York City, well, A, to get out of Myrtle Beach for a variety of reasons, and B, the intention is to write. The intention is a writing weekend.
Well, and New York is great for that because there's just really not a lot of distractions there. You should be able to find your peaceful, happy place. I can't wait to see how many words you write.
Hey, listen.
It'll be somewhere between 3 and 3,000.
Listen. 3,000's easy. I can do that. No problem. Well, for me, the city invigorates me. I'm invigorated by that energy. It motivates me. So it actually is good for me to be in that environment to write. I do already have dinner plans, cocktail plans. I'm meeting with a client that I've never met before that has been a client of mine for 3 years.
Nice.
Virtually. So I finally convinced him to meet up. And I'm meeting with a future guest for our show that Keith introduced me to because she happens to live there. So we're going to connect. That's Jacqueline, in case she watches this. And we'll see what happens from those adventures. I will do a live from New York City.
Live from New York City, Gina Trimarco. Well, going back to your writing and going back to quickie tips for everybody else, if you schedule it, then you will write. That's all.
That's all, folks. That's
what
all she wrote.
Gets done.
Yep.
Have a
great day. Next on my schedule is eating the lunch that's in front of me and watching the bartender laugh at me right now because I'm sitting at a restaurant bar eating, and I told him, do not think I'm crazy talking to the computer.
Tell them you're talking to your hot blonde partner friend.
Woohoo! Yeah.
All right, bye everybody. We'll see you soon. Tune in to womenyourmotherwarnedyouabout.com.